So it is happening in 5 days. Your congressmen have been off, and now all of a sudden, down to the wire, down to the finish line, your government could be shut down or averted with a continuing resolution. I think we're just going to kick the can down the road like always before. We've got to be careful though. There is high stakes and high problems every time we do this, because we get in more debts, we have less funding coming in, we're involving ourselves across the world in a lot of other problems, and here we are again, once more, at depending on our Congress to actually do something, and they wait to the last minute. Let's jump into today's video, and it starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. It is a gloomy day here in the South, and I absolutely love it. I love this cool weather. Love the fact that we've been getting a lot of rain, so I'm not complaining a bit. Thank you so much for watching our channel, watching our vlog channel, The Max Life. Remember, we're going to be doing a giveaway in 2 days. So something good is coming in the next few days, and it's called a giveaway, unlike government stuff that we're going to be talking about in this video. So let's jump into this subject. A government shutdown. 5 more days, or you're going to see a continuing resolution, just like you always do, which means they're going to kick the can down the road. This is really, to me, the first major test for Speaker Johnson. Now, I kind of bragged on him in another video talking about, separating the monies where if they were going to Israel, they were not putting Ukraine in there. I thought that was a good move. Also thought that it was good that he was taking money from something like the IRS and then putting it into the Israeli plan. Now, again, I want things to start happening here, not everywhere else. It's amazing that we were worried about a looming shutdown when really we've had weeks, months, years to fix this, and we always wait till the last 1 or 2 days before a shutdown. So it kind of makes me mad. It kind of peeves me off, because I believe this is just a slap in the face to most Americans. Now, the push will be what they call a laddered continuing resolution. Laddered CR. That's kind of what Speaker Johnson is pushing for. It's an untraditional way of funding a government to a certain time, but there's going to be some ebb and flows there. There's going to be some chances where they can change a few things about it, so that way it gives conservatives a little bit more say. You can go into the details if you choose to read how he's trying to structure it. One thing I do like is that traditionally you would see a McCarthy or someone in the regular leadership of the Republican Party just push a continuing resolution, which means just fund everything for, again, another few weeks, months, or a certain period of time. I do like the approach that he's being a little untraditional. Now, here's the problem. He's going to have a lot of people balking at him on every side. Now, we know the Democrats are going to balk at him, so, him trying to play to the middle, it doesn't work. That's an absolute stupid thing for him to do. So the thing is, does he play to the base or does he play to the rhinos? The question is, where does his, to me, his favorability, but also where does his trust remain? His trust is, he is elected. He was elected by the Republicans. However, he has to be very conscientious that there's people on the extreme right, the conservative side, the freedom side, that says, you know what? We got the last guy out of there. Remember, we do have a little bit extra power, so I think you need to make sure that you are giving us what we want. I think that's a good thing, and I think he is taking in consideration that thought pattern. I don't necessarily say he is full-on conservative yet. I want to see what he does with this CR. I don't want an omnibus bill. I don't want a crazy spending bill. I think we should be cutting instead of worrying about just a government shutdown and we're just going to pass money through. I think there's a lot of things that we could go in and say, look, you know what, if we want to avert this shutdown, I want to cut spending by 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever that number is that they can come together on as the Republican side of the aisle. Problem is, you don't have enough conservatives that has a backbone to stand with him if all of a sudden he says, we're going to shut it down if you don't follow this plan to get us in a cleaner budget, in a cleaner situation. Remember, we have the purse, so therefore we don't want to spend this money erratically like we've been doing it for the last however many years we've been doing this. So the question is, will he stand strong? Secondly, will Republicans stand behind him? Thirdly, if he does this kind of CR, this untraditional, this laddered approach, is it going to give conservatives true victory or just victory in the news? We don't need cheerleaders. We don't need little rah-rah pom-pom wins. We need true wins. And I'm hoping that Speaker Johnson will be a leader here and say, you know what? We're going to take a very unconventional look at this, and we're going to do this better. Even if they let it shut down, which I believe they should. I've told y'all that before. On the last time we did this, I feel like I make this video all the time because I want our Congress to have the reins to do whatever they want and get to the very end to then have this political football match right with our money, with our livelihood, and with our future. First of all, here's the problem. Why are we allowing these guys to be elected and paid big money, six-figure dollars, and get millions in lobbying fees to then not work for us? They've been gone on recess, quote unquote recess, and now they're getting back to all of a sudden hash all this out in 4 days. Do you honestly believe, with as polarized as our nation is, that really 3 or 4 days is enough time to actually truly hash out what needs to be hashed out? It's not. So what we're seeing is we're just pawns in this whole situation, because truth be told, they've already hashed out whatever they're going to do. It's just now they're going to play with the semantics of it. They're going to play with who wins the war, who looks better in the media, who takes the little easy victory here, who takes the little victory here. It's all just a game. And when that game is played, it always makes the American people the ones that suffer, because we're the ones still spending money, we're the ones still paying taxes, we're the ones with the terrible economy, and we're the ones who really get nothing out of these deals. We are going to fund it like we always do and have this continuing resolution that even in a laddered, untraditional approach, there's not enough people to stand up against it to say this is a wrong approach, we should shut it down. So we're left with this laddered approach. So now it comes down to, Speaker Johnson, are you going to stand up and, you know what, take this laddered approach and not just take the verbal win, but actually start making changes untraditionally, like it says, unconventional changes that everybody will probably get behind on the front side. Now the question is, are you willing to fight the battles as they go? So if we continue this resolution with some reservations to say, okay, we're going to work through this, or we're going to wait till the next time the government is almost shut down to make any changes. We shouldn't, and we should elect people who actually want to work for us all the time, not right before the fourth quarter end of the game scenario. That's exactly what they do, because of what it does. It makes all these people in America get on pins and needles to find out what they're going to do. And all the while, they should have been working on this since the last continuing resolution that we passed. Here's my honest approach. Now this is a Hail Mary, because I don't believe this is actually going to work. So I'm throwing the football a long way down the field to see if it can actually go. I personally believe we should allow it to go to a shutdown level. Not because I want to see the government shut down or people laid off. I want to see true conservatives stick up for people who are like us, who give our tax dollars, who work every day, and that wants to see changes. That's what I really want to see. Remember, even though Speaker Johnson just got into this, Speaker Johnson has been doing this for a long time. He understands politics. That's why he's in the position he's in. But remember this, there's 3 bodies to a government: executive, legislative, and of course judicial. We are just 1/2 majority of a half of the legislative branch. So who's going to actually take the fall? Not the Republicans, but that's what the media will spin. But here's the thing. Like I said yesterday's video, if we would learn to get out and actually be aggressive and be offensive and say we're going to shut it down until we get a balanced budget, until we stop spending, we're going to cut the budget by 20%, 30%, 50%, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever you come up with, whatever that number is for your economist. Don't let the media spin it as it's your fault. Don't let the Democrats spin it as your fault, because you have the power of podcasts, the power to really get your messaging out to say, you know what, all we want is to secure the border. All we want is to cut spending by 30% or 20%, whatever it is. If we would learn to hold our reins and we would learn to stand up with a strong backbone, I promise you, we would actually set policy. The problem with Republicans is they like to lose. We are led by a bunch of losers when it comes to the Republican Party. I'm a conservative, so I'm just talking about our own team here. We won't stand up. The truth is, if we would stand up together and get behind Speaker Johnson and say, you know what, we're shutting it down until you come to the table with these wants. I'm not funding anything else until we get the border funded, until we get cuts in spending. When we get that done, we'll come to the table and we will avert a shutdown. Until then, we will shut it down. That's what needs to happen. Now, I know people play on the heartstrings and the emotions. They'll say, well, people are not going to get their money. People are going to be laid off. People this. They're going to make you feel bad. The government is too inflated. The government is too big. We're under too big of an umbrella. If we just keep passing these continued resolutions and we keep just giving all this funding to the government, we're going to see it collapse. We're going to see major problems and ramifications. And not for them. They're fine. They're making a lot of money. It's going to be for the American people. So I say, shut it down. Said that last time, it didn't work. I doubt they listened to me this time, but I would love to see conservatives truly have a backbone. Give me your thoughts. Are you thinking like I'm thinking? Should we allow it to shut down? 5 days, things are going to happen. Now, truthfully, I bet they will not shut it down. I believe they're going to pass a continued resolution. They'll try to make it look good for the conservatives, so they'll say it's a laddered approach, unconventional approach, so we can come back to the table and do something. Then if they do that and they don't shut it down, then I want to see Mike Johnson actually do something. I want him to take the wins. I want him to check off the win box instead of checking off the loser box, because that's what we always are doing. We're always losing. We're always on the defense, and it's time for true conservatives to change it up. Let me know your thoughts on this video. It's just my thoughts for the day. I honestly believe that 5 days, a lot should happen, and it shouldn't be giving more money to the government for them to fund something when they really don't have the money to fund anything. We really need a shutdown, or we at least need to get to the table and start doing cuts, doing a balanced budget, and securing our border. Give me your thoughts. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.